welcome back to the All Hazards Prepper Show, your go-to spot for all your disaster prep information and how to survive wild SHTF scenarios. Plus, we'll chat about the chaos of the world, throw in weather updates, and cover any topics the All Hazards Prepper has in his head this week. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your favorite podcast platform and join us on social media. Now, let's welcome your fearless leader and the brains behind the All Hazards Prepper, Blake.
Welcome back to the All Hazards Prepper Show. This is your host, Blake. I hope everyone is having a great week. I'm recording this on Tuesday here, and I'm going to drop on Monday, but this week it is just me. Sorry if you're trying to look for someone else. It is just me today. I'm going to talk about just some things that I have been working on as a prepper that I really feel that maybe you should work on as well, and kind of talk about, I haven't really, done an update on where we're going here on the All Hazards Prepper, and now that we're in season 2, we're going to be kicking it off with a lot of exciting guests, and really wanting to get some great people on, and I definitely got a few people that I think you'll enjoy lined up for the next couple of months. We're actually booked up really into September now. Excuse me, I'm developing a cold, I think, so if I cough or sneeze or sound weird, I'm sorry. Anyway, I hope everyone is enjoying the content out there, enjoying the episode from last time with disaster communications. It's one thing I want to talk about today, and I am recording this from my vehicle, as this week I do not have time to get a proper one done. I'm sorry, but we are. If you hear truck noises or whatever, it is okay. And I'll try to keep this one short. Where we've been working on as a prepper, let's talk about that. The last couple of months, ever since I developed this, really, I started the All Hazard Prepper to document my prepper journey and to really document what I'm doing. It really helped build me as a prepper as well. Connecting, I really enjoy connecting with other preppers and other subject matter experts, and really learning some more things that I didn't know before. And really getting to hone in on some things. So the first thing I've been working on is communications. And it's something that we talked about last time with disaster communications, and that was a great episode. Go check that out if you haven't checked it out. And something I've been working on is communications, how we're going to get information. And this isn't just during disasters. I mean, the cell phone, we've been seeing, cell phone outages. AT&T had that big outage a couple months ago. We use Verizon, which tends to be, I will say, if you are someone looking for a new cell phone plan, I will say Verizon has always treated me right, and they tend to work well during disasters. But of course, it's like anything with technology. It could go out at any time. So I've really been working on communications with me and my tribe, if you will, or my family and friends. That's kind of in my prepping plan. And from that, we worked on developing different messaging groups through, we've been using Signal, which has worked really well. Go check Signal out. It's an app you download on your phone, similar to like Telegram or WhatsApp. I like it because it's all secure. But again, if you don't want something out there, don't put it on an app or don't put it anywhere. Keep it to yourself or, voice. But anyway, developing something like that. And then the next thing I've been working on is radios. So me and my wife, I want to make sure that we, have some way to communicate short distance. We will soon be working short distance away from each other. So if we were to have a cell phone outage, I've started doing some research, and I was able to get a GMRS license through the FCC. Stands for General Mobile Radio Service. You can go on the FCC website and fill out the little form, pay $35 for the license, and it took me about 24 hours, and I got it back. And then it gives you a call sign. I think they all start with W. And then from there, we bought some GMRS radios. I bought a Baofeng. I know they're a little bit cheaper, but I was able to get 2 for less than $50. And we tested it out the other night, and we could get just about 8 miles, 10 miles of distance. So great to use. It's cheap to do. I got 2 radios for $50, and really we're able to communicate. I went further into town, and she was at the house, and we were able to communicate. I was able to hook it up to my larger antenna on my truck, and yeah, kind of how I got to 10 miles. But it worked pretty good. So if you're looking for some way to communicate with family or friends that live nearby, and maybe in town or somewhere in there, maybe that's a good way to look into. It's just a GMRS radio. You can go on Amazon. They're portable. They're like handheld. Very easy to use. They have 22 channels. Scan function. You can pull up the FM radio. You can pull up the NOAA weather radio as well. So definitely good to use there. From that, I've also been working just on doing more research, more studying on radios. I hope maybe in the fall to get my ham radio license. That's something I've always wanted to do. Just struggle finding like a course on it and then taking the exam. So I've been working on communications. That's been one thing. The next thing I've been working on is books and guides. So, a lot of people, they rely on the internet now. We go on Google, and that's where we, WebMD or whatever site when something happens and you need some information. Well, during a disaster or, during an SHTF situation, that's going to be hard to do, if not impossible to do. So I've been working on building guides. I've taken a box that I have and putting some books in there on prepping, on communications, on first aid, printed off a bunch of things and put them in binders, organize it based on what it is on first aid, communications, land navigation, maps. What other things did I put in there? How to, do different food, water things, how to like harvest and, do taxidermy on what you hunt and stuff, even though if you know how to do that, which I have before, still have it in a guide. I got a bunch of different things printed off, so I'll try to do a picture or a video on that at some point, but I'm still working on it. Still work in progress, but that's something I recommend doing. It's just, on top of the plan you're developing that is written and print it off. Don't keep it just on your flash drive or on your computer. Print it off too. Make sure everyone has it, but also having these guides and these information sources is definitely great as well. So from there, sorry, I had to take some drink of water. So I've been working on the guides. The next thing I was working on is, and I did a short little video on this, is a portable bathroom. During a disaster, during a hurricane, something where the water has been turned off, and you have no water, no sewer, you're going to need somebody to use the bathroom. Unless you live in the sticks and you just want to go outside, but it's kind of hard to do. And if it's, storming or raining or whatever. And so I was able to just take, 2 5-gallon buckets, put a pool noodle around it to sit on, and put a liner of a black trash bag. So it's so simple to do. I recommend having it if you wanted to store stuff in it before using it. Of course, you could. It doesn't take up a whole lot of space, and definitely been helpful. So I definitely recommend doing something like that, especially if you're worried, especially if you're on sewer water from a city. That's if you can't flush the toilet, then it's not going to be good. So I've been working on that. Next thing I've been working on is organization and inventory. Taking inventory of everything I have. Over the last, I don't even know how many years, I've just kind of stockpiled. And, every time I go to the store, I'll just throw it in a bin and forget about it. Well, last 6 months, I would say I've been really working on an inventory, putting into an Excel sheet, putting it all into different kits based on what it is, and really listing it out on the box, printing off the Excel sheet that's for that box, and making sure you have a good inventory of what you got. That's not only good, so if you ever had an insurance claim where say your house flooded or fire or something like that, and you had to prove, you should do that with everything you have in your house, or take a video at least of whatever thing that you have in your house. Sorry, not fun with the cold. But also just making sure that you have it with your preps too. And then, that also helps you as a prepper, know what you have. So you're not going to the store and be like, oh, I'm just going to buy more masks or, MREs or whatever, and then throw it in there like, oh, I already got 10 of these or 15 of these, which is good. You can never have enough, MREs or masks, but, some some items, you want to rotate out. And then with the inventory is also tracking, expiration dates. Some of this food and water, it does expire over time. Some of the public, the first day medical supply certainly does. So I always put what I bought when I bought it, and then the expire or the expiration date on the box, and then that way it's just right there. I know when I bought it, I know when it expired, and I know what I got. And also know the quantity of what I have. If I'm filling up Mylar bags full of rice, I'm putting, how many gallons of Mylar bags of rice I have done, or quarts or pints or whatever size, Mylar bag you're going to use. Then with the expiration date and then the buy date. And, you could just list the expiration date. I like to be extra and also list the buy date so that way I can remember when I bought it as well. But definitely just, keeping inventory of your stuff. I think that's very vital as a prepper to do, and making sure that you, do these things. So, what else have we been working on? That's really it, other than stockpiling. Really, I've got my water where I kind of want it. I've certainly got my food where I want it. It could always be better, but now I'm looking. Sorry, another drink of water. Now I'm looking at ways that I can, if once my food supply and water supply is gone, how can I, build, how can I go and get it? How can I go and, filter my own water, which I have, quite a few water type filters, Life Straws, Sawyer Pack. Then of course, just normal, tablets, water purification tablets, a lot of those. But making sure you have a way to do, alternative food. Same thing with physical food. You might have to go out and hunt and stuff like that. So pulling back some of those skills, especially when I learned those at a young age and haven't used them in a few years, wanted to pull back some of those skills, especially as we get here in the fall. But having ways of doing that. Fishing, making sure you have some fishing gear, which I always do. But if you live in a place where there's a lot of ocean or there's lakes and stuff, as long as we're not going through some sort of environmental issue or hazmat or CBRN issue, then you should, be able to use, what's around you, the animals around you to live off of, just like we're going back to primitive times, or caveman times, or whatever you want to call it, or what we usually call in prepper world or whatever is a hunter-gatherer times. So, anyway, sorry, big cough. Colds are never fun in the summer. That's kind of where I am as prepping, what I've been working on. Like I said, moving forward, my biggest things are building on my communication, getting a ham radio, getting a license, something I recommend everyone to do, something simple, relatively simple. If you have a ham radio, definitely know how to use it, be using it, and most people do. And then the next thing is building on the food and water. Once you get, if you've been a prepper for a little bit like me, if you're just starting out, start with the 72 hours, then move to 2 weeks, then move to maybe a month, then move to, maybe a few months. And then, once you get past, the 6 month mark of food supply and water supply, it might be kind of hard to keep, 6 months worth of water unless you got big storage tanks. But once you kind of got that, then you need to start working on some alternative methods of filtering. And even once you get, I would say once you get to 2 weeks, you probably need to start working on getting some water purification tablets or water filter type things, and really knowing how to hunt or fish or do something of that nature. If you have a large freezer where you can, I made a post the other day or story about the other day about how long things can freeze. If you have a stand-up freezer or whatever, I definitely would recommend freezing things, even though it will probably go bad over time during a disaster, especially if you lose power. But it definitely goes. It was easier to store or keep it frozen in a freezer than it is in a refrigerator when that goes out. So, and then the next thing I'm working on is power, and that's something that I'm kind of struggling with because we live in an apartment currently. I think I've talked about that before. Hopefully in the next year we're going to be moving out of the apartment because I'm tired of apartment living. But and after that, I think a generator would be good. I'm going to buy a generator. That way I can power what I need. But also looking at solar generator type things. I'm probably going to build, or not probably, I am, and I've already done the research and started buying some of the items. It's just kind of expensive. Is a solar generator that's essentially solar panels that are charging a deep cell battery and hooked into an inverter. And then the inverter, of course, you can plug, whatever outlet or whatever you need into the inverter and get pretty good wattage off of it. I mean, you can't run everything, but if you needed to run something a little bit more high powered, maybe a toaster or something like that, it might be able to run it for a little bit. So working on that next. So anyway, those are some of the projects that I'm working on as a prepper. I hope I didn't bore you, but this is things that if you kind of started your prepping journey whenever I started the show, and now you're kind of moving on. What else do I do next, Blake? And Wes, maybe some ideas that you can build on from there. And then, so let's just talk about where the All Hazards Prepper is going, where we're going the next month. Let me take one more swig of water. Excuse me. I'm sorry. This is not our normal episode where it's all audio corrected and everything. But where we're going to the All Hazards Prepper this week, the next episode, we will have it'll be 2 weeks. We will have a meteorologist on who is also an emergency manager, someone I've followed for a little while, and I'm excited to have her on. And we're going to be talking about kind of where weather and decision making where meets, and that's really emergency management. So we'll be kind of diving into weather, futures of the future of disasters, and then certainly talk a little bit about emergency management. So if you're coming from a public safety standpoint and you want to definitely check that out, I'll be good. Got a few other guests lined up for later in the month. We're going to try to get one guest on. I've been working with her and talk about community and tribe building a community or a tribe or a group of preppers that you can all rely on. You can't do everything by yourself, unfortunately, and that way you can kind of build from there. And then I'm going to have another emergency manager on. He also talks about preparedness. He has a page, and I'm super glad to have him on. He's very known around the emergency management and then around the prepping community as well. Excuse me. Anyway, from there, what else are we working on? September is National Preparedness Month, so we'll be talking, all throughout the month about different preparedness stuff. But here on the All Hazards Prepper, we do preparedness every day. So, it's nothing new, but definitely just be on the lookout for some of the things like that. And we'll try to maybe do something special during that month. Work on that. What else? I'm working on, and I've talked to before, and we've really got it going, is a family, or what I'm calling a household emergency operations plan. An HEOP. In the emergency management world, I am responsible for, the organization's EOP, or emergency operations plan, which is really the base plan on how the organization will respond in an emergency to, it's an overarching plan. It doesn't get too detailed, but I'm really working on developing that for a household, developing that for a family and individual, and then building from there, other little plans that maybe the household needs. But template is almost done. Hope to have it done maybe by the end of this week, and then I'll be releasing that out. Still working on how I'm going to release that. I probably will charge a little bit for it because it took me it's taken me a couple months, but nothing significant. But I just got to figure all that out. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Other than that, where else are we going? And like I haven't, so I think I hinted this before. Again, I did set up an LLC for the All Hazards Emergency Management Group, which is what we're calling it. It is my dream one day to be a emergency management consultant. So I figured, well, might as well just start an LLC so that way I can run some of the All Hazards Prepper stuff underneath it, for tax purposes and legalities and all that stuff. And did develop a website. It's on our link tree. Go check it out. If you're a small business, if you're a family, an individual, maybe you're a venue or something like that, and you want some emergency plans built, you want to do some training and exercises, reach out to me. I haven't really done it before other than for organizations that I've worked for, and I've been around and doing those for a while. It's my job to do it, so I haven't never done it consulting wise per se, but I would definitely be happy to reach out and talk to you about how we could build from there. If you're even a family and you want to really help building a plan, a really good plan, or do a training or an exercise with your family, if you're somewhere local in the North Carolina area, I might be able to help you out. So, or even South Carolina or Virginia. But definitely reach out to me if you're interested in that. Have a small business. That's definitely important to have an emergency management or emergency operations plan and a business continuity plan. and have procedures if you're a business or even a venue where you got a large amount of people come in to do whatever. Especially today, you really need to know what to do during an emergency, and your staff need to know what to do during an emergency to really it really saves your butt a lot. When if something was to happen, or if you face a disaster and your business is shut down. We can build some business continuity plans around how you can get around that disaster to keep your business going, and also do assessments. We can look at your business and see where we could or your family plan or whatever, mostly business on this, but how we could improve processes to be more resilient from a disaster, whether it's a physical process or if it's a mechanical or technological process. That way we can build resiliency, and maybe you can overcome the next disaster a little bit faster than your competitors. So anyway, that's kind of where we're going here on the All Hazards Prepper. Sorry I don't have like a big episode this week. I kind of wanted just to do a chat about where we're at, where we're going. Excited about where we're going. I love doing this. Just note it is, this is my second job, I guess you could say. I do have a primary job, and I kind of do this, on the side. One day would love to do this full time, but it doesn't make enough right now. But maybe the consulting will one day. Anyway, so that's kind of where we're going. I hope everyone just continues to check out the content, like the stuff, subscribe to the show. Share it with your friends. I've had a lot of people share it by the word of mouth, and I love that. Really, it's just, this is me trying to get, if I can get one person more prepared for a disaster, I'll be happy. I feel like we've done that a little bit, but I just love connecting with, people from all different realms of the prepping world. If you're just brand new or just started, or you've been prepping for years, love to connect with you, love to help you bounce ideas, especially if you're a subject matter expert in something else, or if you want to be on the show, definitely let me know that too. Would be super glad to have you on. So hope everyone has a safe and great week out there, and continues to stay alert, to stay prepared, and stay alive, or stay aware, stay prepared, and stay alive. Sorry, got that mixed up there. Again, apologize for the cold, but hopefully next time we're back with you all healthy and all good. Anyway, I hope everyone has a great week. The All Hazards Prepper out.
The All Hazards Prepper here. You know what? I want you to go pause the episode right now and go look at your pantry. Do you have enough food in there to survive a couple of days? Maybe a week? Maybe a few weeks? Depending on how many family you have? No? Well, you need to go check out Artisan Farms. Artisan Farms offers so many different products for emergency food, from things that you can use every day. I love that Artisan Farms has so many products that you not only might need during a disaster, but you may just need to cook your normal everyday meals. Artisan Farms offers great products that's tailored around that can fit your needs for the next emergency. Whether you need something that will last you 72 hours or up to even 2 weeks, Artisan Farms has the product you need to survive the next disaster and for those that depend on you. Go ahead and check out Artisan Farms at artisanfarms.com. Again, that's artisanfarms.com, and use the code the All Hazards Prepper for a 10% discount whenever you check out. Again, the All Hazards Prepper for a 10% discount when you check out. Artisan Farms has what you need not only for the next disaster, but for the everyday as well.